That's exactly how you show the 2003 Stanley Cup champion team that the new Devils are ready to make a push for their own Cup championship. The Devils beat the Philadelphia Flyers 7-0 here at Prudential Center. Welcome into your post-game live show presented by Genucel. I'm Catherine Bogart. It was a historic night for forward Dawson Mercer, who sets a new franchise record with 141 consecutive games played in order to start his NHL career. Akira Schmid gets his first career shutout. And those were just two of the highlights. So let's take a look at that full highlights as the Devils are honoring that Cup championship team. And Pat Burns' current wife Lynn and Scott Stevens bring the Stanley Cup down. Early on, Schmid with a huge save to keep the Flyers off the board. It would be 0-0 after 20 minutes. But 3 minutes into the middle frame, Jonas Siegenthaler scores 1-0 Devils. And it's the Blue Liners' third goal this season. A really great start for the Devils, who then halfway through the middle frame find Jack Hughes on the breakaway, scores. Hughes makes that look so easy. No wonder he is leading the Devils in goals this season. 1 minute left in the second period. Dawson Mercer gets one too. 3-0 Devils, and his 6 straight games for Mercer with a goal. That's a career high. 4 minutes into the third period, Nico Hischier wants one as well. He goes top shelf. Devils with a 4-0 lead in this one. It's his 25th goal of the year and 55th point this season by the captain. 1 minute later, Dougie Hamilton joins in on the fun. He scores 5-0 Devils and is Dougie's 17th this season. Siegenthaler picks up his second assist of the night. What a huge night for the Blue Liner. 6 minutes left. Jack Hughes decides to get another one. His 37th of the season gets the Devils up 6-0. 4 minutes left. Nathan Bastian is returned to the lineup. He scores. Huge goal by Bastian. And he is trying to show why he needs to be in this lineup night in and night out. Schmid is only the 5th Swiss goaltender in NHL history to record a shutout in his first of his career. A huge night for the Devils, who struggled in their game against the Kings. And even though they did come away with a victory, this shows that they can decisively beat a team, scoring 7 goals starting in the second period in order to beat their rivals, the Philadelphia Flyers. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we expect to hear live from players in the locker room. And later on, Chico Resch and Matt Laughlin join me from the Devils Hockey Network, presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, to break down this huge win.
You just got to get a piece of the puck, and it just snuck through the legs of Duguerre. So pretty easily to say that's the highlight of my hockey playing career.
Obviously, if you watch the NHL Network, you know Rappi's goal pretty good because they play it every time he's on. So he didn't score many goals, but you score all the highlight goals. Yeah.
The young rookie who came to the playoffs late for the Devils, but has played physically big. Freezing. Rupp picks it up. Trying to go back to the point. Did. White shot. Blocked by Niedermayer. Scott Niedermayer scores! Mike Rupp deflected it! How about that? Push Rakunik off the play and get it out to center. Marshall will move it in near side. Red pass in front. Score!
Yes!
Come on, the goal count!
Yes!
Reeves got it! It is a goal! The light has never come on, but the official pointed immediately, and the Devils have a 3-2 lead!
What a play by Grant Marshall.
I fed it right through him, Chico. Just, you know what? Honestly, it was a great pass, but it wasn't something that I was somewhat of a hope pass. I just seen him going and hoping that I can get it to him in any way possible, and
feels
it
great.
went through.
Obviously the guys played amazing in front of me, not letting any chances happen, so shout out to them.
and just, how far you've come in the last year. Can you kind of put any of it into perspective?
Not really. I mean, you just got to work hard, believe in yourself, and getting a team like that in front of you makes it easier for you as well. So,
So you didn't get the goal. We talked about getting a goalie goal this morning. So you didn't get the goal, but you got a shutout. So what's better?
I guess I'll take the shutout.
And when it's so tight, it's 1-0, 2-0, 3-0. Do you start to breathe a little bit? And then when it gets to 5-0, are you thinking of the shutout? I mean, I know there's a lot of time left, but 5-0, you're thinking like, all right. comfortable here. Now I just got to finish the job.
Not really. I just focus on the next save, and I mean, obviously at the end, maybe like the last 3-4 minutes, maybe. But before that, you just still got to stop the puck and help your team out.
Kira, did it feel any different this time today than it did your last start, January 5th, playing beyond the team?
Yeah, obviously it wasn't a great game my last game, so I wanted to, prove myself to the next game that I still got it.
With the team in general, does the team look a lot more confident? Does it look different than when you played that day in January?
Yeah, I mean, today's for sure. You can see that we matched the game throughout the whole game, so it's big for us to learn from that game and take it from here.
Thanks, Akira.
Thank you.
Schmidt, who records his first career shutout, and he's only the 5th Swiss goaltender to do so in NHL history. Schmidt is one of the pieces of the puzzle that can come up and play for this Devils team if there is an injury with either Vitek Vanacek or Mackenzie Blackwood. Right now, Blackwood with an undisclosed injury. We're expecting to hear updates coming soon. Right now, we have defenseman Jonas Siegenthaler live in the locker room after he scored a goal and had 2 helpers in tonight's win.
I don't know. I just try to play my game. Play simple. I think after the last couple of games where I got scratched, I try to start from scratch. Start from zero and just work my way up and get to my best game again. And I think I'm on the right track. And my goal is to play solid, help the team out. In those dirty areas, I would say, and I'm overly happy that we played really good over 60 minutes tonight.
What was it that you liked the way you guys were playing as a group that maybe you didn't see in last game?
I think the start was huge. We started the right way. We didn't give them a lot, or we didn't have a lot of turnovers or breakaways. So. That's the way we gotta start the game, and we focused on that after the last couple of games, and I think tonight we did a pretty good job. And it's not always easy, to play against teams that aren't in the playoffs, and I think we did a pretty good job tonight.
No matter what the score is, when the clock is starting to wind down, maybe Akira's not thinking about a shutout, but are you guys, in that mode, we've got to get that for him?
Yeah, for sure. He's you wanna keep it by 0 for him. It's always nice to boost the confidence of the goalie a little bit, and he deserves it a lot, and that's what we try to do. We even sat on the bench. Let's do it for Akira, and it worked out, and I'm happy for everybody tonight.
Jonas, did you see Jack on the play, or was that just kind of a spinning hope one off the boards? You don't have to tell us sure. You can tell us you saw him play.
I saw him.
Okay, that's okay. And what about the play by Miles Wood? Get that puck to you on your goal.
1 week ago, defenseman Jonas Siegenthaler was scratched. The team wasn't happy with how he was playing. Now he has 1 goal and 2 assists to help propel the Devils to a huge 7-0 victory over the Philadelphia Flyers, something that Coach Ruff has constantly credited his Blue Liners with, getting in offensively and helping his team win games. We're now going to go back to the locker room where forward Ethan Bastian is standing by.
To contribute, and just how did you kind of feel with all those games off and now being back in a tough game?
I felt good. I felt really good. I think we have a good problem around here. I think we have a lot of really good players, and we're obviously a good team. So I think hopefully that kind of speaks to the depth of our team when guys are able to miss a bunch of games and come in and contribute. So obviously a big game for me personally and a big game for the club.
What does it mean for your group when you guys are sort of watching that pregame ceremony? What kind of goes through your head as an athlete?
A lot of things. I was jealous. I think they obviously did something pretty special, and just briefly speaking about how passionate the fans are and how excited they were when we heard a couple of the names called. It's so cool, and watching the highlight reel kind of their playoff run and all that is kind of what we dream of. So to be able to see it firsthand is pretty sick.
And just to have this other win under your belt, knowing that, a difficult road trip coming up, and, really the next couple of games are against a lot of really strong teams for you guys.
Yeah, it's true. We thrive playing against good teams, and we've done really well on the road. So when we look at the schedule and we see good teams, we like to think that every team in the NHL and they could get us on any night. So you take the same approach for sure, but it's easier to get up for the big dogs around the league, and we look forward to those games.
Thanks, Nate.
Julie, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Forward Nathan Bastian makes his return to the lineup and scores to help the Devils win 7-0 over the Philadelphia Flyers. Bastian talked about the impact of seeing the 2003 Stanley Cup team honored in pregame ceremonies and throughout the weekend, which is a great point because assistant coach Sergei Brylin was a part of that team and has talked to this current Devils squad about the importance of all four lines contributing, defensemen getting in on the scoring action. And that's something you saw tonight, a really incredible performance by the Devils. So let's bring in, from the Devils Hockey Network, presented by RWJ Barnabas Health, Matt Loughlin and Chico Resch. Gentlemen, when you look at the entire team effort that went into today, a 7-0 victory over the Philadelphia Flyers, a team that's given the Devils a little bit of a test this season, what were your biggest takeaways that allowed New Jersey to simply dominate?
Well, they're a better team, so let's start there. And they took it, but they took advantage of it, Catherine, because that doesn't happen every night. Not always does the better team win, but tonight the Devils made sure to take care of business. Business after slow start, couple of chances. Schmidt turned back. They missed some opportunities in the first period, but once they started putting some pucks on net and past Ersan, the floodgates opened.
Yeah, Catherine, I just think they played up to their potential tonight. I mean, and the other thing was, it was a team effort. Everybody. I mean, Schmidt gets a shutout. That's great for him. It just goes on, but they played up to their potential, and it was a great night to have done that with all those ex-champions sitting up in the booth watching them.
That's one way to get some street cred. Showing up 7-0 over the Flyers, and it's only the second time this season New Jersey has put up that many goals. The last time earlier in the season in late October when the Devils won 7-1 over the Columbus Blue Jackets. Another strength of the Devils tonight, who's been a strength for the past 6 games, forward Dawson Mercer. He continues his goal streak. He also sets a franchise record for 141 consecutive games played to start an NHL career, beating out Scott Gomez, who was in the building tonight and who set his own record back in 2001. We've discussed on the show what Mercer is doing so well. But let's broaden that a little bit. Chico, Matt, what is working so well with that top line that allows Mercer to score night in and night out?
I think there's an enormously high compete level. Now, these are NHL players, so they compete. But Nico Hischier, you mentioned it during the game. Tatar and Mercer won't get beat along the boards. They made a couple of plays tonight, taking pucks away behind the net, along the boards. And Nico Hischier is just as determined as anyone.
Yeah, you nailed it, Matty and Catherine. This list line has it all. And, Hischier, 25 goals. He's going to probably be a 30-goal scorer. Dawson Mercer, he's proving he's going to be 25. My point is, these guys have some skill. But the guy who's really adding to it, as we know, Thomas Tatar, you know him, Catherine. He's always full of energy. And I think he is getting resurgence, in his play that he only could dream of. It didn't happen in Montreal. And, he's been kind of in some teams that haven't fit his style. But my goodness, his determination to get pucks and makes plays has been outstanding. And I think the Devils have discovered a line that they're not going to break up, and they're going to stay together through the playoffs.
It's been special to watch. You don't know. Coach thinks it's going to work. He's not really sure when he puts a group together. Lindy has said, like a lot of coaches, I like a center and a wing, and I'll see who's working as the other wing there. You put a guy in there and you think it might work, and suddenly it's just blossomed into this devastating line. And now let's see what happens with Jack finally getting a goal. And I know people go, finally, yeah, well, he hadn't scored since returning to the lineup, putting up points, but not a goal. Tonight he gets the goal. Jesper Bratt gets another goal. Well, let's see what that line can do, and the Devils can really be dangerous, more dangerous.
Goaltender Akira Schmid gets his first career shutout, 5th Swiss goaltender to do so in NHL history. What makes this more powerful is Schmid hasn't played for the Devils since early January, and actually his last 4 games with the team were losses. Still, he showed a lot of improvement this season, all of his call-ups so far. Better puck awareness, a little bit quicker. He's understanding the pace of the NHL game to a level he didn't last season. Chico, I want to give you time. What did Schmid do so well tonight that allowed him to not only get that first career shutout, but keep the Flyers off the board, especially in that first period?
Well, remember, he's played well at Utica, so that's where his confidence has grown. He's playing in a very well-structured team. I mean, defensively, a few glitches early on in this game, Catherine, but overall, the Devils' defense was outstanding. But what I liked was basically, I will say maybe he had 3, like I'd say, really tough saves. But what he didn't do, he didn't make any mistakes. He must have caught 6 or 7 pucks with Flyers coming at him that if he pops out a rebound could be trouble. But his left hand is so sure-handed. His just little things like he controls shots. He put him in the corner. He played the puck a couple times. I mean, Maddie and I were talking, and you're thinking, well, Vitek Vanacek could have played tonight. They got 3 days off. Vitek's on a roll. But they said, no, Akira Schmid, we want you to get some experience, and he really came through for him.
Dawson Mercer, another big night as we've discussed. He's speaking with the media in the Devils dressing room.
Then for him to be there and give it to me, it's a special time.
Can you take me through that goal? Did you call for the puck? Because we see Nico's head kind of turn and you're out there all by yourself.
Actually, I was kind of just trying to get myself open. I knew Nico seen me, like he was looking around, and I was hoping their defense didn't realize, so I kind of let it up to Nico.
With this goal streak, are you doing everything the same every day just to make sure that nothing changes?
I'm not superstitious, but like for sure I'm trying to do the same thing patterns, like making sure I prepare that because it's obviously working, but if I don't get something done, it's all right, but make sure I'm just playing my game.
How much did it inspire the team to have the 0-3 team in here and see how they were received by the fans tonight?
Yeah, obviously it was pretty special. You can feel the emotion in the rink and everything when they're coming out, and just to see those guys and how happy they were to reunite with everyone, and that's a special bond, and you know that's what happens in winning teams, and hopefully we can just keep working in the right direction.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you. Good night, guys.
Final minute of the second period, and for Dawson Mercer makes it 6 straight games with a tally, which is a huge accomplishment for the player in his sophomore season, and also gives a lot of confidence to this group that the Devils don't have to rely on just Jack Hughes, Jesper Bratt, Nico Hischier to score. Put Dawson Mercer's name up there, and he is really finding his stride in the final stretch of this season. So let's go through that beautiful goal with just 60 seconds left in the middle frame. Matt, what did you see on this one?
Well, again, this is a line that really has created incredible amount of chemistry. They work the same way. They'll get inside, and you heard Dawson say, I knew Hischier saw me, and he did. Looked over his shoulder, and just a brilliant backhand pass, Chico.
Well, if we can watch that again, well, it's already gone through. But, I mean, Hischier only has like a few, well, look at right there. 6 inches between the skates? And he lays it right out there. And what a finish. I mean, Catherine, we could talk about the chances getting produced by Mercer, but he's got to finish him, and that's a great, accurate shot.
Which he didn't earlier in the game. He had an
Exactly.
opportunity, just sent it up too high. So, again, this trio is working so well. And you bring up a good point, Catherine, because the Devils have been reliant in the beginning portion of the season, through maybe half the season, on the big four. Hughes, Hischier, Bratt, Hamilton scoring. Now they're getting Mercer. Now they're getting Tomas Tatar completing rounding his game out. And so that just makes them infinitely more dangerous, more combinations, lifts the pressure on all of them. Dougie with another goal tonight, kind of a seeing eye goal. I'm not sure that Urson's defense helped him out on a couple of those, screening him. But, you know, it's just been a terrific thing for the New Jersey Devils as they pick up another big win.
And just some of the lesser stories in this game. Kevin Ball. I'm telling you, he is playing his best hockey since he's been a Devil tonight. He played the most minutes. Matty, he got an assist. He's shooting the puck where he should. He's handling it. Things really coming together. What do we got? 20-some games left, the Devils do, and it's really starting to really come together. And I mean, I know there's a ways to go, but I like what I'm seeing.
23 after this, Catherine, as you know, and down to 10 at home, 10 on the road after they complete this 3-game road trip. Things speeding up in the NHL, but we're heading to the exciting part of the season. I think, overall, this was just a, start to finish, great performance.
Speaking of it heating up in the Metropolitan Division specifically, the Carolina Hurricanes lose tonight to the Anaheim Ducks, and also the Rangers dropping another game here, which only helps the Devils with all of these points battles that they're facing. I believe they're only 3 back from the Hurricanes at this point, and now they're widening the gap between the Rangers and the Devils for that second place spot. New Jersey starting to really get their stride again with all the goals coming through, like we saw in the 13-game win streak earlier this season. And something we constantly hear from the coaches, from the players, from alums, from both of you, it is so critical when you hit the playoffs that you have anyone, any line can score to win that game. No better example than the 2003 Game 7 Cup clinching goal comes from Mike Rupp, who only played 4 games in that final series and has the game clinching goal to help the Devils win their 3rd in franchise history. The smallest names can have the biggest impact, and that's why the Devils really aren't as concerned about a 3rd line considering or having Andre Palat and Eric Hollow on that, because they know they're working very well with Jesper Boquist. So they're not concerned about, I'm on the top line, I'm on the second line, I'm on the third, I'm on the fourth. They're focused on how can my line produce and have those good goals. We're still expecting to hear from Devils head coach Lindy Ruff. He should be at the podium shortly. But gentlemen, when you just look at the confidence that a team can get from this sort of win, 7-0, that's such an impact. Why is it important that they get that confidence boost right before they go out on the road where they tend to do so well?
Well, I think it would go back to something that Chico said earlier. Like, this is a good team. I don't know that they're any more or less confident with a win like this. Certainly if they played, say, as they did against Montreal, it would affect them to a degree. But this team just bounces back. Good teams let losses, they correct what they need to, and they move on. And that's what the Devils did against LA. I don't think this honestly adds to their confidence level at all. I think what it does, it signifies or solidifies in their mind, we're a good team, and now we're going to face some good teams on the road, and they're going to just keep on keeping on.
Well, absolutely, Matty. I mean, there's times where it's a team confidence win. This was an individual confidence win. Say whatever you want. Bastian scores, right? Siegenthaler gets a goal and an assist. Ball has a terrific game. The only thing that I could tell, and I watched, especially on the power play, they are team. The team is so trying to get Andre Palat a goal. He's working hard, and I don't care. Like, I've been there. Players say, it doesn't matter if I score as long as we win. Yeah, maybe. But if I said, but you could have also scored a goal, would that have been better? Well, yeah. So, but anyway, that's a small part of it. But this was an individual game of confidence that each guy grew with because Bastian had been out of the lineup. He needed something to get him going. And Miles Wood with another assist. He played a good game. So this was a different kind of win, but one the Devils really needed.
I've often thought there's 4 phases to a player's thought after the game.
Okay.
I scored and we won. That's number 1.
Yes, that's the best.
I didn't score and we won. That's number 2.
Yes.
I scored but we lost. That's number 3.
And 4?
The worst is I didn't score and we lost. They'll say all the right things, but they want to make sure they want to score. But also, you notice they were trying to set Palat up. They know that he's gone a while without a goal, and they're trying to funnel some things his way, try to get him a goal. He's not a regular season goal scorer in general. We talked about it on the broadcast. Once in his career, over 20 goals. But when playoff time comes, and that's why he was brought on board, he wants to score in the regular season. He wants to end that streak against Colorado and come up with a goal. But it's about the postseason.
Yeah, Lindy Ruff's at the podium. It's going to be really curious. How pumped up is he?
He made the saves he needed to make, and I thought his puck play was real good for us. Helped us in a bunch of breakouts. So He's been a big part of where we're at with the injury to Blackie early in the year, and we needed him to step in and play well again.
Second period, what do you think? What turned? I mean, I know you played well in the first, but what do you think happened there in the second to kind of open up?
I just thought some of the quick transition. You look at the first goal, we just got a puck going to the net. We had traffic, and then you go to Jack's goal, just quick transition, he gets to walk in alone. We caught them changing, and second period's always tough where you got the long change and good speed coming off the bench.
Jonas was saying that when he was scratched a couple games ago, he really took it as a wanting to start anew once he was back in the lineup. 3 points tonight. Are you seeing more from him? I mean, obviously it's not just about points, it's about his defending, but are you seeing him get back on that track that he was at the beginning of the year?
I think he's taken a real good step. I think it first starts with he's been physical. His defending has been good. We're not really looking at him for points. I think the points are a bonus, but I think at the same time, part of our attack is getting the fourth guy in. And if you look at just after his goal, he was up on the next play and almost had another opportunity. And if you're going to be a strong offensive team, you need that defenseman to join, be the fourth guy. But I think his reset on the defensive side is something that, admittedly, he needed to be better. And I think when his self-evaluation comes in and he looked at his game and then he got out and he got his chance again, he looks like the guy that we had in the first 30, 40 games.
Do you hope that that's a similar scenario to someone like Nate Bastian, who's been out for a bit and now getting a chance?
We're not, and again, I'm going to say this, it's not about any individual. We know that we're going to need everybody at different times. There's been different guys out. And with the amount of games we've had in a short period of time, to get Bass in, got him some rest, and obviously he came off an injury. We know what he brings every night, and I thought he played a good, solid game for us tonight. Z has played well. Just being a healthy scratch. We know that he's been a part of helping us win hockey games too. So it's almost like we have these extra pieces that we need to play. That when this schedule gets really, really intense and really tough, and we're playing all those games this coming month and in a few days, to be able to take a guy out and maybe give him an extra day off, I think it's going to be important for our club.
The decision to bench Zetterlund tonight, is that the same thing there, Lindy? Just giving a rest?
Just giving him a rest. We really needed to get Bass back in the lineup, and Bass has been a big part of our club. We know shot blocking. Scored a goal tonight. Plays the game right. And, Philly had some pretty physical guys. We thought that it'd be a good opportunity to get him back in.
With Mercer, you're just making sure everybody stays away from him, and he just does the same thing every day.
Again, momentum, and, once you get on a roll, a lot of good things happen. You can look at different players around the league that, get on a roll and start scoring game in, game out. Then you can look at the ones that can't buy a goal. Nico went through a stretch where he couldn't buy a goal. Now they're starting to go back in the back of the net again. And when you look at Merce, it's almost anything he touches. I thought he had the best opportunity in the first period and shot it over the net on a real good look, and then converted that great play from Nico coming out of the corner.
Thanks, Lindy. You're welcome, Vince. Devils head coach Lindy Ruff following his team's 7-0 win over the Philadelphia Flyers. If you were concerned on why the Devils were wearing white on home ice, it's because back in 2003, the Devils did wear their white jerseys at home, and that's the jersey they won their third Stanley Cup championship in franchise history. And since the team was being honored tonight, that was a nod to those past champions. But the Devils have one of the best road records in the NHL. So how much, guys, was this victory because they were wearing the road white jersey? How much was it? Was it 20%, 80%? I want you both to tell me how much of an influence wearing the white jerseys at home had in this win.
Okay, Catherine, because you brought it up, I'm going to say 99%. Good. I never recognized that, but everything is so planned and nothing is looked over.
No, true.
That might be really true. Maybe the inside, but It was good to see that white jersey pump. When I saw the score, well, you see it there, 7-0. It really does look weird, huh, when you get to 7. And looks good, though, if you're a Devils fan or player.
Yeah, you know what? And back in the day, I honestly liked it when teams wore white at home and the visiting uniforms came in. I know the world has changed. We see a lot more games. By the way, not to give too much away about my demographic, but I remember how excited we were when we got our first color television. So to see the bright visiting colors of the colors of the visiting team's sweater always was exciting. I know they changed it around, but bring back the old ways and change it back. Tonight's win won't change that at all, but I'd like to see the visiting team's colors.
Yeah, mix it up a little bit anyway.
Well, yeah. I think it's good for the fans. It's what our producer Blaine Sayers was just saying in my ear. So I thought, but it was nice that they were able to not miss a beat and kind of make that tribute to 2003 by saying, "Hey, you guys wore white at home. We're going to wear white at home tonight."
Yeah,
I wonder if Frosty was involved in that.
No, yeah.
Chris Capetto is the.
I don't know, but Maddie said something on the air that you guys wouldn't know, and it was really touching. When Lynn Burns came out carrying the cup with Scott Stevens, what did you say?
It was Bobby Carpenter's idea. Bobby, as the lone present representative of the coaching staff, he asked last night, would it be possible if I came out and helped Lynn raise the cup? And they changed it around. I kind of liked that the captain was there doing it as opposed to Bobby. But it was a nice touch to have the widow of the late, great coach of the Devils, Pat Burns, raise that cup. But then when the captain raised it for good at center ice, the place went crazy. Honestly, I got mildly choked up when those guys stood for a photo and their backs were turned to us. I mean, I love seeing the faces, but the names brought back so many memories of that run that was predicated on great defense. They were not a really high-powered offensive team, as opposed to in 2000 and in 2001, winning a championship and going to the final when they could score goals with the best of any team in the league. In fact, one year they led the league in goals scored, but the defense, you just couldn't get through them.
Well, I went through the scoring of that year's team, and it's similar to this year. It was spread throughout everybody, both in the regular season and the playoffs, and that's what we're seeing with this year's version of the New Jersey Devils. Balanced scoring.
It was a really beautiful ceremony, not only to honor those like Pat Burns, who couldn't be with us here, and to see his wife be honored as well, but just to see the fan reaction of their favorites, of the guys who instilled belief that New Jersey, the only sports team in this state, could bring home championships. It was truly an emotional moment for a lot of people, and just to feel the energy in the building tonight, it felt different because it was completely packed. Everyone was on their feet multiple times. The Devils played so well. The 2003 Cup champions were here, and we do have so much content with a lot of those members on NewJerseyDevils.com, so make sure you check it out. But for both of you, what was your favorite moment from this weekend celebrating the champs?
Well, Chico brought up the best point, I think, during the broadcast, and I concur, and I'll let you take the ball and run with it. What's happening this year has reinvigorated the fan base. The older fans who remember the glory years are reveling not just in the past, because that doesn't matter. When you're losing, as the Devils had been, okay, you can say we won championships, but now they can celebrate the championships as they did tonight. They can love what they're seeing from this group now. And the younger fans and the younger players sitting on the bench watching the ceremony, they get a chance to understand, oh, that's what Dad's telling me about. That's what Grandpa's telling me about when this organization was great. And we're getting back there.
Exactly. The thing for me, Catherine, well, because I've done a little bit what the players had to do, you couldn't tell inside they were smiling. But it just all rushes back, the memories of what they accomplished that year, beating everybody else, being the best, connecting with the fans. You know what I mean? They were really touched and honored and proud. I mean, if you're going to be proud about a championship team. And that's what I kind of could see in each one of them who walked out there, strutting out, feeling good about having wore that New Jersey Devil uniform. And the one that we talked about, I was really happy for Joe Nieuwendyk. Joe Nieuwendyk wasn't a Devil for very long. You know, he was in Dallas, he was in Calgary. But I remember that year, Joe Nieuwendyk was so ingrained in being a New Jersey Devil. And for him to come back and see him walking out really touched my heart.
Yeah, that was brilliant. I love it. Joey's such a class guy, and I hadn't seen him since he was in management in Dallas. He still makes Dallas his home, but he's backed off of anything other than enjoying his retirement and seeing his son play in Penticton in the BCHL. So it was good to see him. But think about the guys too. So two notes. Patrick Elias spoke last night at an event that was held in Hoboken, and he was asked to speak on behalf of the team. And he said, it's funny that I've been asked to speak, because when I first came to this organization, I didn't understand a word of English, and here I am. So you see not only the development of these players, but as human beings, and Patrick Elias just is a gentle man. He's just a good guy. So, and you think about the stumbles and the fumbles and the growth, and it's good to think back to when he couldn't speak much English, and now he's the spokesman for the team in some ways.
But he always spoke the one language that's most important when you're a hockey player. He spoke the language of hockey. He could always play hockey in any language. And I mean, he's the Devil that scored the most goals in their history, and he represented them and does as well as anyone.
And he wins 2 cups. Scotty Stevens wins 3. We know the other guys who won 3 as well. But then you see Turner Stevenson. Nieuwendyk won 3 different teams. One of the few guys, as you mentioned, playing Calgary and Dallas and winning there. Grant Marshall's won twice. But there's some guys who won just once. Played this game for a long time. But this championship in 2003 was their only one. And that's special too.
Something a lot of the alums have said about that 2003 year was how special it was to play in front of those fans. And in fact, it's the most recent time in NHL history in which the home team won every game in the Stanley Cup Finals series. So the Devils winning 4 at home, that Game 7 at home, and all these alums just spoke so highly of the fans. And they said when they were at Dine with the Devils last night or going throughout the arena today, they saw a lot of familiar faces, people who have stuck with them the entire time and always were there out supporting the team. So it's a really great reunion for the team itself, but also for the team to be reminded about how much this fan base loves them. And hopefully it sparks the next Stanley Cup championship by this franchise. Matt and Chico, as always, thank you for your insight. We love sharing this time with you. And for all of you watching, thank you for tuning in for this special edition honoring the 2003 Cup team as the Devils absolutely thrash the Philadelphia Flyers 7-0. Thanks for tuning into your post-game live show presented by Genucel. For Matt Laughlin and Chico Resch, I'm Catherine Bogart. Get home safe and have a great night.
Genucel.